Okay, this is the environment where LAPD is stalking in helicopters. This is engineered light, and it's not sunlight. It's impossible that this would be sunlight. It's magnified in size, and you see the movement because I arm as sunlight, which is not coming down from the sun. It is shooting horizontally through closed blinds onto the wall, as opposed to appearing on my ceiling in my bedroom or moving all across the walls in my bedroom and flashing. This is just one iteration of maintaining engineered light, which is the evidence also against the people of the state who are present in that environment. That's what you see Silverview Townhomes doing in concert with the LAPD, who are amplifying helicopter activity inside of my apartment, while they are all together the same condition, demons, stalking and keeping me under surveillance, not only in relevant position, while keeping me surrounded with engineered light, which is what you see appearing, shooting, not like sunlight. This is shooting like engineered light would. First of all, not only are the blinds closed, but it's concentrated in color, and it's shooting horizontally through a window structure, a window space, and it's magnified in size. Large. Not only are the blinds closed, but it's magnified in size. Okay, and it is light that is entirely concentrated, and it remains, as you see, for a duration of hours. And as the state, I don't want to mention LAPD because it is LAPD. LAPD is going to be prosecuted for what is state action that they are engaging in because I'm in LA County. LAPD represents nothing other than the state, and they are, again, acting in conformity to their demonic possession, which is the root for what is criminal conduct, the public corruption that I'm exposing. And that's why you have the same criminal activity demonstrated as a pattern in an engineered environment, which is a scientific impossibility, while I'm in an entirely different region. Again, there is no sunrise that's going to be seen through the window of the vehicle parked in front of 630 North Fern Avenue in Ontario, California at Fern and G Street at the same time where this light source, which is at a great distance, you see how it's supposed to appear as though it's far away, but yet you see this concentrated light that's shooting horizontally through closed blinds, and these are teeny tiny little holes. You see this little, but I want you to see how concentrated that light is, and it is shooting at a great distance. That's what this is. The pattern of the blinds, and the light is appearing larger on the wall at a distance in the depths of a structure, as opposed to what would be sunlight, but at the same time wants to appear as though it's at a different distance. You also know that this isn't the sun, because that's why I'm still at the same living room at 10:30, and that fake sun is at the same position, just closer and closer and closer to me, as you see it in front of my window, as you see it over my front door as late as 2:44 in the afternoon. And remember, it's only over my front door because I walk over to my front door. When I walk to the back of my apartment, the fake sun is over me at the back of that apartment, which I'm also showing you through the windshields and the windows of the structures that you can see, which is the stationary maintenance of that, which is not the sun. And this certainly isn't even sunlight. This is that specific environment that is speaking to the pattern of conduct, while I'm showing you the same specific environment, not the natural environment where a fake sun remains over me, rising in Ontario, California, and also setting over me wherever it is that I'm at in San Bernardino County, which is most of the time at the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, which is literally 2 blocks away from where I would wake up in the morning. That's non-movement of what is not the sun, a light source, and that's never going to be outside of my window in Los Angeles at Alvarado Gardens, aiming any sunlight, which you know that this isn't, because you're just looking at it right now while it is on the walls. And then this is demonic. You're understanding and perceiving the presence of Satan, because this engineer light is just dragged and it stays on the ground, and then it comes all the way up to you're up until after, as I've shown, as late as 11 o'clock in the morning. And the entity is keeping the fake sun as I go from the office back to my apartment, back to my office, back to my apartment. And where does the fake sun stay? Right here. And where is the stalking in helicopter? Where's the heavy helicopter activity? In other words, it's state action in an engineered environment. It is indeed stalking. It is within a pattern of what is harassment and following in helicopters in an environment where I have shown you it's not the natural environment. This is exhibiting demon possession by a corrupt government who tell on themselves. Not only does it start with the demon-possessed police, it carries on to the demon-possessed sheriff's departments. It carries on to the demon-possessed courthouses, where they are engaging in federal group stalking and monitoring, having no lawful authority. This is understanding what I've been subject to. The manufacturing, literally artificially engineering information in concert with the people of the state who are group stalking you. So those that are keeping you under surveillance, those that are targeting you in the US, violating your constitutional human rights for freedom and privacy, are engaging in what is manufacturing information in order to kidnap you while they know what it is that you're documenting, while they know what it is that you're uploading on the video of the internet, making up information about you in order, as the demon-possessed and corrupt government, arresting you, having no lawful jurisdiction authority to do so, keeping you inside of facilities under what is, again, a false representation that you are having any authority whatsoever while you're group stalking, engaging in terrorism as an entity, which is why demon-possessed police officers are stalking you. And that lack of jurisdiction does not convert when you are in the hands of sheriff's departments, who, by the way, are also documented group stalkers. The same state system is underway, and that does not convert or change or create jurisdiction or authority by the state when you are in the hands of a court, who are using also engineered facts, manufactured facts, which they are also engaging and using while they are in and of themselves acting far outside of the bounds of any policies and rules and laws, state and federal, that govern the way such courthouses are supposed to rule over cases. You will see that pattern, and it is also the outward demonstration of their demon possession. These are just demons that are sitting on the bench, and they are being handed the ability to access, which is kidnap you and obstruct justice, while the demons that are the sheriff's departments are kidnapping you inside of their facilities, where, by the way, engineered light and a fake sun remains over those facilities, and those demons are engaged in the same exact pattern, pacing around in engineered light with the demons who are the very inmates. Let me be clear, the people of the state that are driving FedEx, Amazon Prime vehicles, living at the property, visiting the property, holding hands, all those demons are in jail wearing uniforms. It's the same demon possession, and they're acting with the demons that are calling themselves deputies and medical workers and judges and attorneys of the DA and public defender's office, etc. They're group stalking in the courts, they're group stalking in the jails, they're group stalking with the people of the state, where the demons that are stalking in helicopters are kidnapping you to obstruct justice, which is what the Ontario Police Department, the Upland Police Department, have been heavily documented as engaging in. There is no shared natural environment, and this on its face is never sunlight. That's not even sunlight. You can see my arm moving when I'm at a distance away from the wall, and the size of the wall is supposed to be something that's piercing through what are closed blinds. And these holes, the holes that are on the wall, that's magnified in size. So you're understanding this little string, you can see the light activity. Why do you have this? The recognition of demonic behavior, which is criminal activity by a state. This is state action. In this environment, sex offenders such as Silverview townhomes are crossing paths while LAPD is amplifying helicopter inside of my apartment. Now, what's triggering that? Not just the fact that they're demon possessed and they're obsessed with me and they're engaging in stalking as a population, as a corrupt government, but it's because they know what I'm doing online. Meaning, while I'm uploading evidence onto third-party facilitating venue, YouTube, which is Google, which is nothing other than an online venue, the internet, where Title 18, Section 22618, subsections 1 and 2 is underway, meaning the demons that are group stalking, all they're doing is hopping online. They know exactly what I'm doing online. It is therefore a crime scene. There is no freedom of speech where the targeted individual is online anywhere. You're being targeted on there, and you will be prosecuted. You're going to learn all the ways in which the entity will be prosecuted for this state terrorism that it is engaging in. And knowledgeable about what I'm doing online, stalking in helicopter to communicate a threat. The evidence of that stalking conduct is the engineered light and the presence of the light source. And there is also pre-existing evidence where there would never be a sun outside of my living room window while it's maintaining presence over me in an entirely different region. In addition to that, that fake sun remains here for the duration of the day over my leasing office all day long and setting in alignment to my bedroom after 7 p.m. Okay, and you're looking at the fake sun out there, and here is the engineered light on the wall. So this is the evidence of demon possession by corrupt law enforcement agencies who are acting in conformity to a pattern of stalking using helicopters to do so. I want to be clear, the state that's engaged in group stalking in the courts, the sheriff's departments, the police departments, they will not be prosecuted any differently than the people of the state. They will be deported. If they're not natural born citizens, they will sit in federal prison while they participate in kidnapping, while they engage in stalking in helicopters, while they're wearing a badge representing the state. And they are engaging in, for example, a police department, a police officer group stalking in the path under the fake sun amongst engineered light with the people of the state, you're going to federal prison. Period. They're not going to be treated any different. And that's what they're doing while they know I'm uploading evidence onto YouTube, which is a third party. There's no independence. You're understanding what is the entity and the malicious guise where a government in America is engaging in actually what is massive surveillance. This is a surveillance state, not a free state. Okay, this is just one iteration of engineered light. There is no explanation for while the sun is outside of the living room window, but yet you're looking at the pattern of these blinds appearing at an upward trajectory, and out there the pattern of the blinds is appearing magnified in size at a downward trajectory. The fake sun is outside of that window. There's no fake sun outside of this window. And as you saw in the previous video, you could see the pattern of the engineered light that's hitting windows on building 1816, and that engineered light was appearing across the field. You can still see, okay, the sunlight that's hitting the window, it's also reflecting off. That's not sunlight. And it's not sunlight that's inside of my apartment either. This is where Silverview Townhomes is engaging and openly engaging in federal offenses. Crossing path. By virtue, let me be clear, you're going to be prosecuted for living in relevant position. But the entity that's engaging in the very foolish act of being even captured on video while the entity is stalking in helicopter, amongst all this evidence, it doesn't get any more clear with regard to holding a bloody knife in your hand and there being a dead body on the ground. Pacing up Alvarado, pacing into the parking lot of Alvarado Gardens. Okay, that's P.O.C. Those are demons that are pacing, and you're looking at the evidence. Those are indeed demons, and they're acting with demons who are stalking in a helicopter right now. And all of these demons are engaged in monitoring on the video of the internet. So let me show you this engineer light where they're pacing on the street. They're pacing on the street. That's called demonic crossing a path. This is what demons do. They cross path in engineered light around all day long. This is what a population is doing, including in the sky, space, and planes and helicopters. Everything that you hear with regard to amplification of that, it's also occurring with simultaneity to what I do physically. Sex offenders do that while my panties are down, genitalia exposed, like Jose and Sons, as I documented them yesterday. They do so while they are aware of what it is that I am physically doing and what I'm doing on a communication device. This is not sunlight. So that's demonic pacing, is what you see a demon driving up Alvarado. Because of that impunity, because of this impunity, everybody here is going to federal prison, and they will go to federal prison longer and longer and longer while their ongoing criminal purpose on behalf of a corrupt government that does them no service by stalking in helicopters. That's not sunlight. These are all demons. And this is understanding the elements of monitoring. Monitoring is demonic activity. Only the demon possessed engage in demonic activity. The demon possessed fill the state of California, and this is the criminal system that I'm exposing. It's called federal group stalking and monitoring, and it's also occurring on the venue of the internet. There is no exercise of free speech. These demons are masquerading as though they are free citizens, exercising privacy rights, and they're not. And they're using minor children to do so. That's called crossing a path. You're just holding a baby. You're not forgetting the engineered light. You're not forgetting the demons that are stalking in helicopter. You're not forgetting the engineered light, the impossible light activity that's appearing on the fields right here. This whole property, Silverview Townhomes, all 35 units are exhibiting impunity together, and they will be prosecuted accordingly. That's called crossing a path. He's not free. The state is not free to keep you under surveillance through the people of the state. They're demons acting together. It's not different from demons that are stalking in a helicopter. They're acting as one, representing communication devices, maintaining activity creation. This is the same venue where you see demons such as Brian's son in the same parking lot, and the fake sun is seen through the windshield of the vehicles here. That's a demon accessing their vehicle, pacing with one holding a baby, pacing with one driving out of the property, and walking in the same parking lot. This is P.O.C. Okay, it's currently 7:26 a.m. and it's July 16, 2024, the entity is engaged in what is Title 18 criminal conduct with speaker companies. The same criminal act, it's just occurring in the workplace, Todd Speaker. That speaker companies is going to be drained. And all the people that say that you see pacing, that's what speaker companies is engaging in, criminal surveillance with the state LAPD. And they're all going to federal prison. All right. It is currently, again, 7:26 a.m. This is P.O.C. This is all agency conduct. 8L VR 519. All right, these third parties are engaged in activity creation while they open and close doors. They're doing so in what is engineered light. There's no sun that's going to make any light activity, any shadows. While you're wiping down the window, it's light activity. While they open and close their doors, while they walk to their vehicles, while they drive up and down the streets, in and out of the parking lot, these demons are pacing and creating activity. This is the monitoring system. They're doing so as agents of the demon-possessed state. The government that's practicing federal group stalking and monitoring. That agency is the formula for federal prison, and this is also impunity. This is not I have to go to work, and this is maintenance of presence, just like they are at the Social Security office, just like it is at Walmart, just like it is at Chase Bank, just like it is while I am driving up and down the roads and the highways where that which is not possibly the sun It's spectacular while it has the ability to remain directly over me. While you see things such as engineer light shooting across the DMV building. These are the demons that are living at a crime scene and everybody's going to federal prison for it, okay? They're doing so while they know I'm uploading evidence of their criminal system onto the venue of the internet. And this is ongoing evidence of impunity as I have continuously documented this crime scene, which is Alvarado Gardens, and shown you the ongoing comparison of the crime scenes while I leave this venue after capturing it and remaining for the duration of the day, 24-hour surveillance captured, which is revealing 24-hour surveillance that's occurring in the state of California. Okay, it is currently again 7:28 a.m. This is creation in the internet on behalf of LAPD, apartment number 1818 North Alvarado Street. You can see the light source through the rear windshield. And that's light activity while they drive through engineered light that's on the field, which is the shape of the windows of building 1816. That's impossible light activity. That's the purpose of the demon possessed, maintaining presence. Half of a demon possessed government that's already practicing Satan's system of surveillance. It's already present. It's already underway in America. Okay, this is what the demon possessed population are doing to American citizens, and you go to federal prison for it. You're deported. 1818 North Alvarado Street, apartment number 1. They're going to be deported. They're not natural born citizens. They're going to be prosecuted, and then they're going to be deported back to their place of origin. They're not welcome in this country. Serving Satan for purposes of violating the human rights, constitutional rights of an American citizen. It's legal context with regard to your citizenship, with regard to your constitutional rights. And you've been granted the privilege to be here, not to engage in terrorism with the corrupt government, the state of California. And you will be promptly shipped back to wherever you came from upon federal prosecution. And the fact that I'm documenting that to date is speaking to exactly what substantiates that and supports that, the foundation of that policy. And it will be enforced everybody that lives here, everybody at Alvarado Gardens. This is P.O.C. I want you to see this light activity that's also on the ceiling. Okay? While you saw a demon with wearing scrubs, carrying a baby, walking to the apartment, and the fake sun is outside of that window. So just want to make sure I capture that. This is the environment where the entity is engaged in terrorism. That's not sunlight, like I stated, has nothing to do with sunlight. There's also no sun that's going to be here 12 hours from now. There's no sun that will be in this direction creating any of this light. This is engineered light. It just appears all over the apartment all day long, all over my office, like you see, all over the property is what you're going to understand. It's not sunlight, nor is this the sun that's over. This is a light source. And the entity is engaged in massive surveillance. So those who are going to federal prison with regard to the people of the state, they live at Alvarado Gardens and they're going for a prolonged period. Silverview Townhomes, 1830 to 1898 North Alvarado Street, documented impunity while they are crossing paths. Remember, the demon possessed are not only engaged in group stalking, they maintain real-time knowledge about everything that the target individual says and does. And while you continuously cross path as opposed to ceasing to engage in that criminal system, that impunity is directly relevant to how long you sit in federal prison, to the severity of that federal prosecution, which as a matter of policy will include a criminal record for terrorism in the U.S. and it will result in what is being published as a terrorist in the U.S. And federal group stalking and monitoring is an exceedingly violent sex offense, which again, properties, the whole population is going to be prosecuted for. All 35 units at Silverview Townhomes are living in relevant position, group stalking with the state on a 24-hour basis. And there's no sun that's going to create any sunlight. There's no sunlight that anybody at Silverview Townhomes is driving in or driving under. There's no sunlight that's going to create the shape of the windows on the field in that parking lot while the sun is remaining over me in Ontario on this day in 2022. Nor is that the sun or sunlight while it's still here 12 hours later. As I capture on a daily basis, while sunlight is appearing in my bedroom on the walls and on the ceiling, and in the living room appearing, moving in real time down the walls, okay? That's called light activity, and this is criminal facilitation. You're understanding what is a statewide system. That's how I'm able to capture the light source at the DMV, at the Social Security office, where you're looking at a pattern of conduct amongst the population. All right, that population have legally significant roles. It's occurring in the workforce. All right, this is terrorism in the workplace. Oh, you're going to be prosecuted for that. You're going to federal prison for that. This is living at a crime scene where the target individual lives. You're going to be prosecuted for that, and you are all going to federal prison for it. These represent only the head of households. There are more than 59 people inside of these apartments, and also the minor children who are in the custody of these violent sex offenders who are currently engaged in the state system of federal group stalking and monitoring. They will be removed from the custody as you see them employed in the pattern of conduct in the
criminal act, which is a sex offense, engaging in the monitoring in a private space, which is what the people of the state are doing, while you could see a minor child crossing path in the arms of a demon-possessed third party. The ability to engage in targeting another while having minor children, you are a threat to not only yourself, to the public, but also to the minor child, all minor children, while you understand the sexual violence that the demon-possessed are engaging in on a routine basis and seek to do so secretly. They seek to discard an American citizen so that you never hear anything about it. Not only are you exposing that, you're also going to neutralize the threat that population poses. Again, it is currently 7:32 a.m. The entity is also engaged in monitoring. You already know that Spectrum Charter Communications is a group stalker. They're engaged in Title 18 by virtue of what they do as a business, but also as a part of the same entity. And my internet is being obstructed, meaning the streaming abilities, and I pay for high-level Wi-Fi. And of course, when you're documenting the government, which includes Spectrum, a third party, that internet is substantially delayed. I'm going to publish it anyway. I'm going to document it. But Spectrum is a documented group stalker. You see them at this property. You see this fake sun here? It's not even 8 o'clock yet. The fake sun is still here, as you've already seen, at 5 o'clock, where Spectrum is group stalking on the property. Spectrum is engaged in surveillance around the property with light activity. Spectrum's facilitating venues are third-party venues where they're engaged in the same system. All right, and they're also doing it on the venue of the internet, in concert with the people of the state who are also acting. Monitoring directly affects your internet connection. So just speaking to everything that the demon-possessed are doing for purposes of your information, but also the ability to prosecute commercial actors and seeking to obstruct justice, that's a threat to your life. You're not just slowing down internet, you're threatening the life of an American citizen, and you're going to pay for that. You're going to pay dearly for that, okay? You don't get away with, you don't avoid federal prison. You do not avoid being, if not utterly removed from existence by virtue of the weight of those damages, all right? But it is something that is a matter of justice. It is, again, 7:34 a.m. on July 16, 2024. I want to go ahead and make sure I get this light source because it remains here all day long. 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, this fake sun is at the same address. This is P.O.C.